Greetings from Columbia, South Carolina, and welcome in to historic Stone Stadium, affectionately known as the Graveyard, here on the campus of the University of South Carolina. As the Gamecocks come in with a record of 3-9-0, set to take on the Spartans of USC Upstate with a record of 3-8-1. The Spartans out of the Big South, set to tingle with the Gamecocks out of Conference USA. Hello, everybody. I am Birch Antley. Thank you for joining us on an overcast Saturday evening in October. The Gamecocks looking for their first win since knocking off, at that time, the 19th ranked Hokies of Virginia Tech. It's been a couple of weeks since South Carolina has felt what the winners column looks like. That last win, again, coming on the 2nd of October, a 2-1 victory in 2 overtimes. Since then, South Carolina losing to Charlotte, New Mexico, and Wake Forest. This is the second of 5 home games in a row here for the Gamecocks and head coach Mark Burson, and we are underway here from Columbia. The South Carolina Gamecocks in the home white with the garnet numerals and letters emblazoned across the chest and back. The kits for the visitors from USC Upstate in Spartanburg, South Carolina. The Spartans in their road green with the white numerals and letters, the white bottoms. South Carolina attacking the goal to the left of your screen. The starters tonight for South Carolina. In goal, it is going to be Bauer. Justin Bauer getting another start. He took over in the second half of the game with Wofford, a game that South Carolina won here at Stone Stadium 5-0, taking over for Ian McGrain. And since then, it has been Justin Bauer who has been minding the pipes, getting the nod each game as the starting goalkeeper. The back defensive line for the Gamecocks: Mitchell Myers, Paul Quildes, Andre Street, and Josh Corning. Corning, the freshman from Chapin, South Carolina, has started every single game. The freshman has been very impressive as well, running that outside defense. Petter Solberg, Peyton Erickson, Aiden O'Brien, and Jared Golden are your Gamecock midfielders, with Luca Meyer and Tucker Monheimer out of Louisville, Kentucky, joining Meyer, the junior flashy forward out of Steyr, Austria. The two up top who are going to be tasked with trying to put the Gamecocks back in the winners column here tonight as they take on the Spartans of USC Upstate, who will have Andrea Bonavia starting in goal tonight. It's going to be 3 defenders on the back row: Alexandre Castaigne, Martin Sky, and Julian Welbon. 4 midfielders in Joel Bunting, Cam Philpott, Ricky Maldonado, and Jetto Williamson, with 3 forwards running the attack offensively: Sebastian Quinteros, Josh Salinas, and Francis Eto. Their starters for USC Upstate, again out of Spartanburg, South Carolina, a branch campus of the university. No score just underway. Just a touch of a breeze blowing. The flags to the right of your screen to the top, now lifting as the wind begins to pick up more from the west to the east here in Columbia. We are in the heart of the USC Athletic Village. Stone Stadium is surrounded by the new administration offices, the new softball complex, as well as the new track facility and the beach volleyball facility. To the left, the heart of the University of South Carolina's academic and research campus, and Stone Stadium situated in the middle. If you're unfamiliar with Stone Stadium and its surroundings, as the free kick is in, headed away, however, by USC Upstate, so the threat is taken away, nullified there, but the Gamecocks will maintain on offense here. Here is Luca Meyer. Meyer is going to be dispossessed by USC Upstate. Again, if you're unfamiliar with the surroundings of Stone Stadium and why the moniker The Graveyard exists. Well, if you look through that grove of trees to the top of your screen, there is an actual cemetery, a very historic graveyard called the House of Peace. So the Gamecocks will throw in far side. Cleared away by Martin Sky, number 19. And there is somewhat of a technical save for Andrea Bonavea, Andrea Bonavea, the goalkeeper tonight for USC Upstate, and head coach Scott Halkett, who is in his second season in Spartanburg. Bonavea, the sophomore out of Andorra, Italy. USC Upstate coming off of a 2-2 tie at Longwood. Before that, on October 13th, it was the last win for USC Upstate as they notched a 3-0 blanking of Presbyterian. The other wins at Winthrop and on the road at UNC Asheville. So USC Upstate, the Spartans have found success as travelers this season, winning 2 matches on the road. All games, they are 2-5-1 as visitors. At home, just 1 win. That was the victory last week against the Blue Hose. Upstate averaging 17 goals, or totaling 17 goals this season, an average of about 1.4 per game, and giving up about 2.7. Opponents have scored 33 goals against Upstate this season, and against starter Bonavea, who has 60 saves, he has given up 27 goals. CJ Cluck has started 3 games this season, and he has given up 6 goals, notching 11 saves. No score here in Columbia as we're just underway. Into the 6th minute here from the Graveyard. Well, we have a new tradition that began in that contest against Wofford for South Carolina. And if you'll notice the banners that are hanging on the brick wall at the top of your screen near the middle, those are the flags, the home countries of the USC players. Here's Tucker Monheimer with a challenge, and coming out to attack is Bonavea. And Bonavea, the Italian goalkeeper, one-on-one with Tucker Monheimer, and Monheimer was sent to the narrow side, did not have an angle to get off a shot to the wide side that would have been the best opportunity, as that was where the net was exposed. But a good job by cutting off the angle and preventing Monheimer from creating any type of shot. Here is the corner sent in by South Carolina on the in-swinger, and it is booted out but held on to by South Carolina. Gamecocks, Monheimer going down, is going to be fouled by Alexandre Castaigne. Castaigne, the sophomore from Saint-Pardon in France. A good mixture of overseas talent and domestic products on this roster for USC Upstate. Head coach Scott Halkett in his second season gets a lot of help in recruiting, especially in Europe, from second season assistant coach Nico Look. Tyler Pence also in his first season as an assistant. Here's Luca Meyer. He's going to pull the trigger. He's going to go right for the keeper, and another save. Excellent job by Bonavea, who took the perfect line. He was suspecting Luca Meyer may attack the post to the keeper's right side, and indeed he did. Bonavea diving that way and slapping that effort from Luca Meyer away, denying the Gamecocks. So 2 quick saves here for Bonavia early in this game. No score, 36 minutes, 38 seconds remaining until halftime. USC Upstate has not had an opportunity to attack offensively.
South Carolina whistle for that foul.
Not much of a counter attack either, as South Carolina has done a good job so far through the first 9 minutes of controlling the tempo. But here will be an opportunity for the Spartans. From
Williamson with a free kick.
Free kick 30 yards out. It is sent in, and Luca Meyer is there to stamp it away for South Carolina. Meyer, number 7, the junior from Steyr, Austria. Corner kick coming up here as Andre Street, the senior from Wolverhampton in England,
Williamson again with the
is there for South Carolina to block that attempt. This is going to be a corner kick coming from the far side.
Williamson's in-swinger to restart play.
And the in-swinger coming in. South Carolina turns away. Upstate there on a set piece. And the Gamecocks freshman Josh Corning from Chapin, South Carolina is there. But the possession remains here with the green and white. Upstate maintaining. Centering. South Carolina's Aiden O'Brien is there on defense, however. Eto. Now back to the top with Eto. Eto trying to fire, and it's blocked away. Francis Eto, number 32, the junior from Raleigh, North Carolina, 5'11". One of 3 forwards in this formation. A 3-4-3 is the design tonight for Scott Halkett in his second season for the Spartans out of Spartanburg in the Big South Conference. Upstate has been successful in conference this season, though. The 3 wins are all conference victories. 3 losses and 1 draw. So as the regular season comes to a close very soon here for USC Upstate, their chances of making some noise in their conference tournament do certainly exist. If Upstate wants to make the NCAA tournament, then they will certainly have to make a clean sweep through their conference tournament, winning the Big South, as the overall record is just not there. For the Big South to draw an at-large team into the national championship tournament. But with 3 wins in the conference, this is, a team out of Upstate that certainly could get the job done in their conference tournament when that begins. South Carolina trying to break away, but just too many green tops there as USC Upstate was able to return on defense rather quickly. Luca Meyer trying to stab one away for South Carolina. Josh Golden coming in, number 8 for the Gamecocks, and he's going to be USC Upstate here returning to the attack on offense. It was good use of the body and the physicality there being displayed by senior Peyton Erickson for South Carolina at midfield, as he was able to position himself perfectly, really just posting up there. And the defender was just unable to get around Erickson whatsoever to make a play at the ball. Trying to get a good through there is Peyton Erickson looking for Tucker Monheimer. And the Gamecocks will try to set one here with just about 30 minutes remaining in the first half. 15 minutes in with no score here in Columbia. Luca Meyer finding some space for the Gamecock offense to operate. Here's Andre Street near side as he takes the pass from Paul Quildige. Now Luca Meyer, the Austrian Meyer. Josh Corning to his left, but decides to keep the ball down. Next up for the Gamecocks, it's just a 3-day quick turnaround as the Panthers from Georgia State will visit Stone Stadium. That match coming up on Tuesday, and then we will have it streaming live for you here on GamecocksOnline.com. Luca Meyer. Good stick-to-itiveness there by South Carolina to return to the attack here for the Gamecocks with no score. Coming up on the 17th minute. South Carolina, right flank, far side. Centering, punched away, another punch away, this time with the foot by the keeper for USC Upstate, who has just been tremendous so far, Andrea Bonavea. Bonavea, I should say the Italian, Andrea Bonavea. Plenty of vowels to choose from in his name, and got to make sure you've got the emphasis on the correct syllable there.
Corning with the in-swinger.
So in-swinger coming up here for freshman Josh Corning. Just dynamic, quick saves back-to-back by Bonavea using the upper and lower extremities. Comes way out for the punt. And the Gamecocks are in position as Mitchell Myers was there to receive. South Carolina already with 5 shots, all 5 on frame. 5 saves here for Bonavea out of Andorra, Italy. Bonavea, the sophomore. Upstate works it into Josh Salinas. Martin Sky coming up somewhat gimpy
USC Upstate.
as he commits the foul on Peyton Erickson.
Direct kick for the Gamecocks.
Direct kick coming up.
Mitchell Myers over the ball.
For Carolina, it's going to be Mitchell Myers out of Aiken, one of 2 Aiken products, he and Benjamin Gilligan. Myers, the defender, Gilligan, midfielder. That's a good ball, and another turn away. What a save again. Andrea Bonavia. Gamecocks just unable to get anything through. Bonavia just so rangy. He's got this sense about him as well, as if he can just anticipate where the challenge is coming from and where the challenger is trying to place the ball on its path and towards the net. But his ability to get down, come back up, and get right back in a position to make a play on a shot is really something to behold right now. So far this season here at Stone Stadium, the Gamecocks have seen some outstanding goalies, probably the best maybe from Charlotte and Panico. But right now, I would have to say that the best performance, certainly the most electrifying performance, is coming from this young man out of Italy who is playing for USC Upstate out of Spartanburg, South Carolina, representing the Big South Conference, just a sophomore, Bonavia. He's had certainly the more flashier saves and already has notched half a dozen with 24 minutes to play in the half. We have no score. USC Upstate with their second shot of the contest, and it is certainly high by Sebastian Quinteros, the senior from Buenos Aires in Argentina. Just really briefly tease to you the roster being designed by Scott Halkett to kind of blend some domestic product with overseas players. And he has done an outstanding job of recruiting in-state in South Carolina as well, especially, as you would imagine, in the upstate area, which is really a hotbed of soccer, of high school soccer and youth programs here in South Carolina, and has been for quite some while. When you look at the Rock Hill area, just a bedroom community essentially of Charlotte and Greenville, which is now becoming one of the leaders in technology and especially startup companies. Many say it's becoming the Silicon Valley of the Southeast.
South Carolina given offside.
But taking a look
First of tonight's match
at
is
USC Upstate
referee.
and that roster,
Result being an indirect kick for USC Upstate.
they have players from Italy, from France, England, Argentina, Ecuador, New Zealand even, a Norwegian on the roster, a couple of Spaniards, and a Brazilian. Two players from Simpsonville in South Carolina, one from Greer and one from Greenville. And there is another Bonavia mop up for USC Upstate. That will technically not go on the box score as a save, so it will remain at 6 for Bonavia. Other South Carolinians on this roster: Logan Welburn, he's from Rock Hill. Joel Bunting getting a start tonight, he's from Charleston. Mentioned the 2 players from Simpsonville, South Carolina. There's another from Rock Hill in Michelangelo
Foul whistle against USC
Dovidio.
Upstate near the graveyard. Results in a free
Check
kick for
that,
South
Julian
Carolina.
Welburn. So the Welburn brothers, Logan and Julian. Michelangelo Dovidio
Myers
is
over
from
the ball.
Simpsonville. He, along with Jadon Williamson. And those would be the South Carolinians. There are a couple of North Carolinians on the squad. Ricky Maldonado hails from Salisbury. And from Raleigh, Francis Etzo. Josh Wood is from Missouri. Eric Abney hails from Smyrna, Georgia. There is a player from Stratford, Virginia. That's Josh Salinas. And there's a shot and save. The tally now at 7 here. 7 Gamecock shots. All 7 have been on goal, and all 7 have been nose turned away by this very impressive sophomore from Italy, Andrea Bonavia. 6 feet 2 inches tall, comes in around 170. Here's the 50-50. Still undetermined as to who will be the beneficiary of the offensive possession, and it will be USC Upstate.
Foul against South Carolina. That'll be a free kick for USC Upstate.
USC Upstate at midfield. Center line. Stabbed away there by Peyton Erickson for the Gamecocks. Over to Luca Meyer, and Meyer unable to keep pace. Here is Upstate now. Alexandra Castaigne. Now Joel Bunting, and here is Etzo. Etzo, a good left to right move. From Raleigh, North Carolina, Francis Etzo, one of 3 forwards in this 3-4-3 look. We've got no score. We have 18 minutes until we will take our break between halves.
So a substitution opportunity.
So a substitution opportunity now.
23.
Coming on.
Elijah
Bebout,
Drew Johnson,
number 23, and
14,
number 29,
Suko.
Drew Johnson. And first time we will see Justin Suko, number 14 from San Antonio, Texas,
Also,
the sophomore,
coming on for USC Upstate, number 17, Solomon Constant, returns.
who leads the Gamecocks in goals scored with 3,
Quinteros.
1 assist. He is tied with Luca Meyer in points with 7. Meyer with 2 goals, 3 assists. Other goal scorers this year For the Gamecocks, Tucker Monheimer with a couple, along with Petter Solberg. Peyton Erickson notched his first career goal. Bjorn Gunnjonsson with one, and Paul Quildis in the scoring column as well. Leading scorer this year for USC Upstate, it's been Cam Philpott. Philpott with a half dozen. He has 13 points to lead in that category as well, as he has added a save. It's Justin Suko fresh into this game, just directly onto the pitch, and he fires a shot there, and not a save opportunity, but that is the first shot that the Gamecocks have taken where Andrea Bonavea has not had to work. 8 shots tonight for the Gamecocks so far, with just under 16 minutes until halftime, and of those 8, 7 will count as saves for the goalkeeper out of Italy, just a sophomore who comes in with 60 saves in 10 games, so he is already above his complete game average, and we have yet to make intermission. We are 15 and a half minutes away. So he averages 6 saves per game, Bonavia, giving up an average of just over 2.5. Eto dishes out left. Now coming back to the right, to the bottom, are the Spartans, and the Gamecocks will jar the possession loose, but off that serve from Peyton Erickson, it is turned back over to USC Upstate, and now right back to the Gamecocks, and excellent anticipation of knowing who would get to that ball quickest, and it being the keeper, Bonavia. He's just making a lot of very intelligent plays on this pitch right now here for USC Upstate in a scoreless contest here in Columbia, a non-conference meeting between both clubs. USC Upstate competing in the Big South, where they have won 3 games. The Gamecocks compete in Conference USA. South Carolina winless this year in conference, an 0-5 record.
Foul the Gamecocks short of the midfield stripe.
With
I'll give it to USC
3
Spartans free
conference matchups remaining until the Conference USA tournament, which begins on November 7th. The Gamecocks will have UAB, Alabama, Birmingham, and Marshall here at Stone Stadium on the 26th and 30th, and then on the road at Florida International to conclude the regular season, that on November 2nd. The matchup with Marshall on the 30th, the day before Halloween, that was the game that was moved due to Hurricane Florence's arrival in South Carolina and North Carolina. South Carolina coming into this game on the heels of a 2-0 loss to the second-ranked Demon Deacons of Wake Forest just 4 days ago. Last outing for the visitors from USC Upstate, the Spartans getting a draw at Longwood 2-2. USC Upstate trying to press the circumstance now. USC Upstate just shy of the penalty box, and USC Upstate maintaining. Good ball work there on the ground for the Spartans, but they cannot keep it in play. Or can they? How about that good hustle there being displayed by Eto? But it will be the Gamecocks here with the flick in.
Gamecocks whistle for the foul. Maldonado's shaken up. Williamson take the free kick.
So it's Williamson here with the free kick. Jadon Williamson out of Simpsonville in South Carolina, went to Woodmont High School.
Corner kick awarded to USC Upstate.
Jadon Williamson, senior,
again,
5'7".
Restart play with the corner kick for the Spartans.
And he transferred in to the Spartan program from Coker College, and I said that he hailed from Woodmont High School, and that's actually incorrect. That was Michelangelo DeVidio, the redshirt senior, who has not yet entered this game. Shot there for, well, actually he is on the pitch right there. DeVidio just right on cue as he takes the shot. That was Michelangelo painting one toward the Gamecocks goal.
A foul on you, on Carolina.
Foul on South Carolina. The Gamecocks whistled as you hear the longtime public address announcer
looks to take the free kick
here
for
at
USC
Stone
Upstate.
Stadium, Dave Easley.
Kick will take place on the official's whistle.
Great thing about David Easley is not only just that wonderful, smooth, calm voice that he always keeps, but he is a soccer educator in this press box. There's a shot and a save by South Carolina and Bauer. He really makes everyone in the press box feel comfortable because he knows what's going on, and he knows this sport like no other, and can help those members of the working press as well. And also he keeps the fan base knowledgeable, and always is top notch with the terminology and the way he can describe what is taking place in such a quick manner, very succinct as a public address has to be. Near side, South Carolina Gamecocks losing the handle, unable to grab control. Drew Johnson, mistake there for Johnson, the junior out of Duluth, Georgia. He and Peyton Erickson, both hailing from Duluth in the Peach State. Oh, there was a chance there for Upstate. Upstate with
corner kick, USC
a
Upstate. Corner kick
coming up now with 7:48 remaining and counting. Petter Solberg, you see number 11, racing toward that corner to get into position.
Take the corner.
It's going to be Jadon Williamson, the transfer from Coker, native of Simpsonville, South Carolina. There's the end swinger headed down by the Gamecocks. As Peyton Erickson is there to put the forehead on the ball. There is Francis Eto in the green for Upstate. Upstate trying to maintain possession of the ball, and they will be unable to do so here with 7:04 to play. No score here at Stone Stadium on the campus of the University of South Carolina. Gamecocks looking for their first win since an upset of Virginia Tech on October 2nd.
Number 18, Andrew Halloran.
It has been nearly 3 weeks since the Gamecocks have tasted victory. Tucker Monheimer will leave the pitch. Coming on is freshman Andrew Halloran. Halloran with the strawberry top, the red hair that is coming in to focus now. And Halloran, who was very impressive in one of the nation's premier high school all-star games, the Carolina Clash, which is held every year in Charleston. The best graduating seniors from North Carolina against the top graduating seniors from South Carolina. That is held every June. And Halloran, it's just an honor to be selected to that all-star team, but Halloran took it a step further and was one of the MVPs. And he's notched a couple of starts this season, especially a big one on the road at New Mexico for South Carolina in Conference USA play at the forward role. He's one of those guys that can give you a solid look
USC Upstate,
either from the midfield or from the forward position. Coming up on the 39th minute, and we still have a scoreless contest here in Columbia. The Gamecocks have taken 8 shots, 7 of which have been denied in very heroic manner by the sophomore goalkeeper from Italy, Andrea Bonavia. So South Carolina now, a set piece coming up. Here's the corner kick as Benjamin Gilligan comes on to take the role of Petter Solberg. Solberg out of Stockholm, Sweden. He will get the breather. And actually it's going to be Drew Johnson who will restart play here, as Gilligan is going to be pouncing around trying to receive it. It is going to be Andre Street. Andre Street, his shot off the left is wide. Nothing there. Not a save opportunity either for Bonavia, so he remains at 7. Averages 6 saves per game. And we still have nearly 50 minutes left in this one. 4 minutes until halftime with no score. 3 wins on the year for USC Upstate, 3 victories in the ledger for the Gamecocks. This is just the 3rd meeting between these two clubs. The first, 1980. The last meeting was a year ago when South Carolina won 2-1 back on August 25th of 2017. And that was the first meeting since 1980, that game that the Carolina Gamecocks won last season. So the 2 matchups, both previous to this one, have been won by Carolina. Upstate will lose the handle. Here is Halloran. Halloran, right foot. Now back to the hill and will dish right. A good stutter there by Mitchell Myers, number 2, one of those 2 Aiken products. And both of the boys from Aiken are on the pitch right now for South Carolina, Mitchell Myers and Benjamin Gilligan. And here is Gilligan. Gilligan is going to take a bump. No whistle. Nothing there. That is a good whistle in the pocket by the official, who tonight has done an outstanding job of maintaining order, but yet keeping this a an affair where the players can be somewhat aggressive but holding their line, just to hold their line and maintain their position. As our referee, Ronnie Canales, very experienced. He's assisted by Kevin Huey tonight and then Kyle Johnston. Our alternate official is Mario Del Pino. Chris Page, the scorer. Or check that. Johnston is our alternate official. Del Pino, the scorer, and Chris Page is handling offsides.
One minute remaining in the first
1
half.
minute remaining now here in the first half. Still scoreless. Peyton Erickson slides one off to the right. Gamecocks looking at 52 seconds, trying to stroke one and take a lead before intermission. Here's a chance. They're going to shoot and turned away. Getting some much needed help from his mates is Bonavia. As Bonavia gets a hand from, it looked like Solomon Constant perhaps. No, that was Benjamin Gilligan that took the shot, number 17, and may have been Julian Welburn that was there to slide into that
10,
shooter,
9, 8,
Gilligan.
7,
so the
6,
countdown
5,
from Dave
4,
Easley.
3, 2, 1, 0.
And to intermission we go as we are at halftime. 45 minutes in the books in South Carolina. 0, USC Upstate 0 as well. Stay with us as we will have a 15-minute halftime break. And when we return, it will be our second half kickoff getting underway. Again from Columbia after 45 minutes of action. We are scoreless. USC Upstate and the University of South Carolina 0-0.
A keepsake souvenir.
So a free kick coming up here as we get this second half underway. In a scoreless contest, the Gamecocks out of Conference USA and from the Big South Conference with 3 wins there from USC Upstate, the Spartans out of Spartanburg. And it has been a first half that we saw just some flashy saves. Spectacular sophomore from Andorra, Italy, Andrea Bonavia, who notched 7 turnaways against 10 Gamecock shots. And we have a new goalkeeper for South Carolina to begin this second half as Ian McGrain returns for the first time since we last saw him back on the 19th of September. That was the 5-0 win that the Gamecocks notched over Wofford when McGrain started the first half and then relinquished to Bauer, who began the second half. And since that time, the Gamecocks are going with Justin Bauer as the starter in goal. But now it is McGrain who is returning. He will begin this second half. We are scoreless. Gamecocks with 10 shots in the first half. The Spartans with 5. 7 saves for Bonavia. Bauer with 2 for the Gamecocks. Here is Francis Eto out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Attacking the left side. It is going to be blocked there by the Gamecocks, Mitchell Myers, number 2. So a corner kick coming up here. McGrain transferring into the program, Ian McGrain, from Wisconsin Green Bay, where he spent 3 years but did not play in a match for Wisconsin Green Bay. A Pennsylvania native. Slaps that corner to the ground. The shot there from USC Upstate taken by Martin Scott. And there is a shot taken by Ricky Maldonado. So back-to-back shots and a couple of saves for McGrain, who is fresh into this contest. So Martin Scott from Norway with the first, and then his backline mate, Alexandre Costain, or check that, Ricky Maldonado, one of the midfielders from Salisbury, North Carolina, following that missed opportunity by the Frenchman, or the Norwegian, rather. USC Upstate maintains possession. The Spartans in their road green kits, the white numerals and letters on those tops with the white shorts. For the Gamecocks, home whites with the garnet numerals and letters. Attacking the goal to the left of your screen, that's USC Upstate. Eto. A little right foot, just a soft pass ahead, and the Gamecocks will be allowed to dispossess USC Upstate here. But right back to the Spartans. Oh, nice turnaround there by USC Upstate's Jadon Williamson, Coker College transfer. Played for the Cobras in Hartsville, South Carolina, after attending high school in Simpsonville in Greenville County. South Carolina will not be able to have a good angle here, and that will allow Upstate to gather themselves on defense. Here's an opportunity for South Carolina and a goal! Goal for the Gamecocks! Goal! Mitchell Myers! Mitch Myers puts the Gamecocks ahead. And for South Carolina, this is the first time that the Gamecocks have scored a goal since the 13th of October, and that was at New Mexico. They were held scoreless last week at Wake Forest. And South Carolina, just 4.5 minutes in to the second half, here in the 49th minute of play, Mitchell Myers able to draw the goalkeeper Bonavia away and slices one into the back of the net. Unassisted goal there for Mitchell Myers. So 50 minutes, his first of the season.
Makes the score. Carolina
1-0. Gamecocks. And now South Carolina, you feel that they can breathe a little bit easier as they have been just taking, in the first half, shot on shot on shot, and they were all just good looks. They were stingers that were just buzzing into the goalkeeper Bonavia, but he was just making spot on save, and now the Gamecocks with another opportunity. South Carolina is going to take one, but right into the wickets of Bonavia. Just did not get a good swing on that attempt. There's a header, and there it is! South Carolina with a sublime goal there for the Gamecocks. Just a beautiful header for South Carolina, and it is the flashy Austrian from Steyr, Luca Meyer. On a beautiful service to Luca Meyer, who just comes in like a rocket and puts that header into the goal. And for the Gamecocks, it is 2 goals in less than 45 seconds. It is 2-0 South Carolina now. 39-22 left here in the match between the Gamecocks and the Spartans of USC Upstate. And this is a wonderful way to start a half for South Carolina. So you have to kind of harken back, if you will, to the last time the Gamecocks had quick goal scores here at Stone Stadium. It was against Wofford, and that was a game where Martin Person made a change after the first half in goal as McGrain was pulled in favor of Bauer. Here tonight it is Bauer who took his exit after the first half, and McGrain coming back in. And to begin the second half in a 0-0 match, South Carolina with a fresh keeper and now 2 quick goals. Now certainly McGrain and Bauer only factoring into what they can control, but if you're one of those superstitious thinkers, then maybe that theory is spot on for you. South Carolina getting a Mitchell Myers goal, and then quickly after, the Gamecocks dispossess USC Upstate, and there's a big save off of a stinger, a screamer of a shot. And Bonavia leaping and punching that shot away. Bonavia now with double-digit saves. He's got 10. Mitchell Myers, in-swinger, coming in from this corner over on the far side. He is below the 3 flag poles, and you can see the wind starting to come in a swirling formation now here at Stone Stadium on the campus of USC in Columbia. The graveyard, as it is affectionately known here. Carolina here in the second half has been very aggressive. They have played with the sense of urgency that you would imagine a 3-win team would have coming into the close of a season, with a team on your schedule that you look at the start of the year and you go ahead and you pencil it in as a win. No offense to the Spartans, but it's a branch campus, and it's one that has not had the luxury of a head coach that has been in command for 41 years now, and the luxury of sending several players to the U.S. national team, of playing in a national championship, of playing in numerous NCAA tournaments, hosting
USC Upstate, brought back
many tournament games here in Columbia. Just having that mystique, the aura, the history. So you look at this match and this game, and you say, okay, this should be a win, and the Gamecocks should play as if it should be a win. And this is what they are doing here in the second half. First half, Gamecocks were taking shot on shot, all looking good too. In the first half, it was just Mr. Bonavia who was providing all of the highlights, and they were all going USC Upstate's way. He had a pair of quick saves that were just quick fires by South Carolina. A 1-2 combo where he had to make a diving effort, then has to return vertical as quickly as possible, and then has to turn away a Gamecock shot by using his legs. He almost commits a scissor kick, if you will, to turn away a Gamecock shot. Did not go head over heels as one would expect there, as I had used that term, scissor kick, but he had to get up and quickly get down. So more like a first baseman making a stretch on a throw coming from across the diamond. Two-nil score here in the second half. South Carolina goals from Mitchell Myers and then from Luca Meyer. So Luca Meyer now with 3 goals on the season, and he and Justin Succo are tied for the leading goal scorer. That shot is blocked, and a corner is coming up. But Luca Meyer.
Awarded Upstate. Williamson with the kick.
With one of the highlight reel
In-swinger to restart play.
Goals that has been scored this year, especially here at Stone Stadium. That is probably, well, I would say without a doubt,
It's another Upstate corner kick.
As I have seen every goal that has been scored here, it has been the best goal as far as what a fan favorite would be considered. So a substitution opportunity as Halloran will return. Andrew Halloran.
Andrew takes the place of
Andrew coming on for the Swede Petter Solberg.
Following Upstate. Gamecocks with the free kick near midfield.
Andrew Halloran is going to be tied up and tangled in, and now ahead to Luca Meyer. Luca Meyer with his pocket picked, and it's Upstate trying to mount a counterattack. Another example of a seasoned referee there is saw a little tumble, but it was clean. No need to whistle a foul and bring in an unnecessary stoppage. and an unnecessary turnover of a possession. So quality work there by our referee here tonight, Ronnie Canales, who has been the chief whistleblower for quite a while. Eto. And a big collision as far as Paul Quilties is concerned, but the German from Essen unharmed.
Kick will take place on the official's whistle.
So the kick will come here on the official's whistle, so the referee Canales will indicate when playing, and the kick will begin. And it is Cam Philpott, the leading scorer for USC Upstate, who will initiate. He's going to take it his own shot, and McGreen is there. McGreen able to envelop that kick from Philpott. Got a couple of players standing near the substitution table at the center line, near side, and the next substitution opportunity will be Sebastian Quinteros, the senior from Buenos Aires, who started this match, coming back on for USC Upstate, and looks like the Gamecocks will be ready to bring in Elijah Babout again.
Substitution opportunity going on for USC Upstate. Returning is number 9, Sebastian Quinteros. Takes place number 24, Josh Salinas. Coming out for the Gamecocks, number 23, Elijah Babout returns in place number 12, Peyton Erickson.
And into the stands. So Upstate will pull the trigger here, throw in near side, coming from Jadon Williamson, number 22. Joel Bunting, number 3, quickly to the back as he sends that to Martin Sky, the Norwegian. Now working near side again. And Upstate, Eto has his shot blocked away. Sky trying to maintain, and it is sent back to Bonavia. Bonavia, the sophomore from Italy, who was lights on, or lights out, I should say, rather, against the Gamecock scoring threats in the first half, as he turned back a total of 7 Gamecock shots, notching just over a half a dozen saves. He has 10 now total in this game. He averages 6 saves per game, so well over his per game average. Paul Quilties is there to deny Joel Bunting from Bishop England, Prep Soccer Power in Charleston, South Carolina. Bunting, the junior. Good back and forth there by Alexandre Costain out of France. Costain, the sophomore. Upstate trying to make a charge there with Cam Philpott. Philpott to Eto'o. Oh, what a save there by McGrain. McGrain just taking that right off the left post. As that was just a little floater that was kind of curving in, and McGrain, it was almost as if he was being held in suspended animation. Two to nothing Gamecocks. 24 minutes, 53 seconds and counting. That's what remains in this game. Carolina looking for their fourth win on the season.
For South Carolina,
facing a team with 3 wins of their own this year. So Bjorn Gudjonsson coming on now for the Gamecocks.
Mason comes on, plays number 22, Aiden O'Brien.
Some other substitutions as well. Next up for Carolina, it's going to be a quick turnaround, as on Tuesday they will return to the pitch to hang out with the Panthers of Georgia State. We'll have the broadcast here on GamecocksOnline.com. Kickoff scheduled for 7 p.m. This is the second of a 5-game homestand to finish out the year for Carolina. Now the regular season finale for the Gamecocks will be on the road November 2nd at Florida International before the Conference USA tournament begins on the 7th of November. This is one of those seasons where Carolina is going to essentially they're going to, no bones about it. If Carolina wants the postseason, it's going to need nothing less than a Conference USA tournament title.
USC Upstate indicated to be in an offside position as indicated by the assistant referee. The result be a South Carolina indirect kick. Bauer to take the indirect kick for the Gamecocks.
Wind beginning to become more of an issue now here in Columbia at Stone Stadium as the flags are beginning to be stretched out and become horizontal, lifting off the flagpoles to the right of your screen in that top corner right. This game started with just a skosh of a breeze that was blowing, barely lifting the banners. Now the wind is certainly developed. As we are 13 minutes into the second half. '58th minute of play coming up here on the 59th. There's a whistle and a foul by USC Upstate, so a free kick coming up here, Carolina. 2-0 is your score, Gamecocks. Both goals being scored here in the second stanza. First coming from Ben Gilligan. Second by Luca Meyer. Meyer's third of the year to draw even with Justin Succo for the team lead in scoring. And I just gave credit to Ben Gilligan on that first goal, and it was the other Aikenite. It was Mitchell Myers that got that goal, not Gilligan. Here's Upstate's leading scorer, Cam Newton, and a perfect opportunity missed for Upstate. As you hear a chuckle from one of our young fans below. Just under 19 minutes now until the conclusion. We're in a 2-0 match. Gamecocks leading. 16 shots tonight taken by Carolina. A dozen on the board for the green and white. For the garnet and black, the Gamecocks. Or I should say garnet and white tonight to be technically correct. 2 goals off of those 16 shots. Bonavia, the sophomore goalkeeper out of Andorra, Italy for USC Upstate, has seen 16 shots. He has allowed 2 goals, but he has 11 saves under his belt. Carolina goalkeepers, there have been 2 tonight, as we started with Justin Bauer, but the second half beginning with Ian McGrain. 5 total saves by Gamecock keepers. 3 by McGrain, 2 by Bauer. The majority of the Upstate shots have come and have been delivered here in the second half. just missing what could have been his second goal of the game.
Substitution.
Luca Meyer.
Number 29, Drew Johnson.
As Meyer drawing back and firing
Luca
from
Meyer.
well outside the 25. So Drew Johnson coming on for Luca Meyer now. Meyer getting a hand from the partisan Gamecock crowd. Johnson scurrying and skittering across. Just checking in. 16 and a half minutes remaining now. Still 2-0 Carolina. Here's Luca Meyer. Meyer. Or check that, not Meyer. It was Bjorn Gunnarsson. Meyer is off the pitch. Gunnarsson, number 9, the junior from Iceland, who had hip surgery that could have ended a career had he been forced into returning too soon. He was protected by Mark Burson.
In the center circle.
And
free kick USC Upstate.
The Gamecocks did not rush his rehab. They honored Gunnarsson's commitment to the Gamecocks by committing to him as preparing him for a career in this game. Very unselfish move. And that is the reason why Mark Burson has been a head coach for 41 years and has been able to attract some of the top talent in the country because of maneuvers just as simple as, hey, I'm going to take a guy who was, as a freshman, the leading goal scorer coming off the bench with
substitutions coming on for USC Upstate. Number 24,
double-digit
Josh
goals scored.
Place at number 32.
And
Francis
I'm going to not rush him. I'm going to put him on the shelf for as long as he needs. He needed 2 years.
Place at number 8, Jared Golden.
Still is getting back to starting form, you might say, and having to battle back as if he were a transfer, somewhat trying to find a starting role, as he lost that position due to that injury. But Gunnarsson able to take his time getting off of that hip surgery.
South Carolina subs coming on. Number 12, Peyton Erickson returns in place of number 23, Elijah Bebout. Also coming onto the pitch, number 17, Benjamin Gilligan for the Gamecocks. He takes the place of number 18, Andrew Halloran.
Suko gets it ahead to Ben Gilligan. Gilligan Now I'm trying to find Gunjansson. Gunjansson being harassed. So it's back to Andre Street. Street had a game-winning goal against Kentucky 2 seasons ago here at Stone Stadium. Still one of the more memorable goals in the last couple of seasons here at Stone.
That foul was against Upstate.
Although one coming tonight here in the second half, and that was the
An indirect kick.
header from Luca Meyer. Second goal that was scored.
Taking the kick for the dangerous play, number 2,
Gamecocks.
Mitchell Myers for Gamecocks.
In about a 45-second turnaround, getting goals 1 and 2 of the evening. Right to Bonavia. Bonavia now 1 save away from a dozen. Unable to break through and picking up a foul in the process. Carolina. So 10 minutes coming up now, 10 minutes remaining in the match with the Gamecocks ahead 2-0. Looking for their 3rd win all time over the Spartans of USC Upstate. First win was the first ever meeting back in 1980, and that's when
that foul against the Spartans.
Branch campus was known as USC Spartanburg. And the mascot, they were the Pioneers. Campus changed its official name to USC Upstate back in the late 1990s to reflect the campus's service to the entire upstate area of South Carolina after
substitution opportunity returning for USC Upstate, number 32, Francis Eto.
After the school decided that
Constant, returning with the Gamecocks, or correction,
be more of
Gamecocks, number 16, Alec BRK.
Commuter campus for always was for Spartanburg, Greenville, Cherokee counties, and those residents there, but also to attract more of a diverse student body from the entire upstate population of South Carolina.
Gamecocks whistle for the push. USC Upstate with
a new official name in as far as the title of the university's branch campus in Spartanburg. So
Gamecocks foul,
therefore,
far touch.
A new mascot was needed, and it was decided
Drag kick,
Spartans, which makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Since the campus is located in Spartanburg. Far side, Bjerke Christensen, the Norwegian for South Carolina. Headed down by Cam Newton. Cam Philpott, I should say, not Cam Newton. He's another form of football, it being the American version. So Cam Philpott will lose possession for the Spartans, and for Carolina here is a 50-50 opportunity, and the Gamecocks, Suko trying to win, and he does. We're under 10 minutes. We are at 6:13 and counting, so 6 minutes, 10 seconds now
over the ball
to go in a 2-0 Gamecock lead. Both goals scored here in the second half with Mitch Myers and Luca Meyer. So South Carolina trying to hang on here for win number 4 of the season. Trying to build some confidence going into a Conference USA tournament where the Gamecocks will need to sweep the field and win the championship trophy if they want to extend their season into the NCAA postseason. This is one of those years where an at-large bid will not be in the offing for Mark Burson. Gamecocks are going to have to go the old-fashioned route. Win your conference tournament, punch your ticket. Same goes for USC Upstate. Upstate with 3 wins in the Big South. 3 losses, 1 draw. But the 3 wins on Upstate's schedule are those 3 conference wins. So the Big South just not one of those conferences where you're going to get 1 or 2 at-large selections to go along with your conference tournament winner. Substitution opportunity now, Carolina. Smith Dawsey coming on. Dawsey has not seen the pitch very often this year. This may be actually the first time we have seen Smith Dawsey, if not the first, then maybe only the second or third that we've seen Smith this season take to the pitch here at Stone Stadium. Now clock at 3 minutes, 25 seconds and rolling down. Upstate foul committed.
Johnson with a free kick.
So here's the free kick from Johnson. Comes down to the green and white. Down by 2 goals with 3 minutes to play. Cam Philpott. Philpott will serve across the pitch to his right. Brought down by Ricky Maldonado, number 14. Maldonado cannot hold on. Foul, Carolina.
Gamecocks near the USC Upstate touch.
So that's near the Spartans touch line, and it's a free kick, or a direct kick rather, coming up here for Upstate.
Williamson over the ball.
And that serve is too far from its intended target, and Carolina, with 1 minute 50 seconds remaining, looking to nab win number 4 of the year. Gamecocks wanting a whistle.
Foul to USC Upstate.
And indeed, it blows, and a foul, USC Upstate.
Erickson over the ball.
So over the ball is Peyton Erickson with 1 minute to go in regulation.
1 minute remaining in the match, 1 minute.
Now 35 seconds. And a Gamecock free kick coming up here. Is that foul committed near the corner, near side, and Gamecocks being very deliberate as they are going to hold on and win number 4 of the year. So Carolina improves the record to 4 wins, 9 losses, no draws.
9,
as
8,
USC Upstate
7,
drops
6,
to
5, 4,
3,
2,
9, and 1. A 2-0 victory here for Carolina. The first since the upset win over Virginia Tech 18 days ago. Goals scored tonight in the second half by Luca Meyer and Mitch Myers. Myers is first of the year. Luca Meyer heading in his third to tie Justin Succo now with the team lead in goals scored. Once again, your final here from Columbia. It is Carolina 2, USC Upstate 0. Join us Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time here on GamecocksOnline.com as South Carolina will have Georgia State next. Again, your final. Carolina gets victory number 4 on the year as they outlast Upstate 2-0. For our entire crew at Stone Stadium, I am Birch Antley saying so long. We'll talk to you next time.